What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I'm your host, Jay Nixon, and today's episode is brought to you by a request. So I've got two awesome brothers that listen to my podcast, Keith and Kevin Reedy. Keith reached out to me and asked if I would do a podcast on the topic of goal setting, because he knows I always bring a kind of a unique or a different perspective to things than the average bear. So today we're going to talk a little bit about goals, goal setting, and the reason why you might not be getting the things that you want out of life. So as usual, guys, this podcast is designed to do three things. It's designed to disrupt the way you think. It is designed to inspire you to think differently. And it is designed to give you the tools and the knowledge to transform into the next level of you, your next level of greatness. So let's just jump right in. Let's talk about goal setting and why most people don't get their goals. I think Tony Robbins even said it once. He said, you don't get your shoulds, you get your must. So a lot of times I call a goal, something that I really want, a must. This year, I've transformed that into even a different and more powerful word. I'm calling my goals this year my wows. So I want the things in my life, when I achieve them, to make me step back and say, wow, that is amazing. That feels good. Now, do I have little micro goals that along the way that I'm going to hit that it won't necessarily be wow worthy? Absolutely. I'm super goal oriented. I'm super determined. I'm super encouraged by goals that get me to the next level, get me further, faster, give me something to look forward to. Now, here is part of the problem. Most people don't even really know what they want, or if they do know what they want, they're terrified to admit it. They're terrified to say it out loud. They're definitely terrified to establish it as a goal, because then if they don't get it, they view themselves as a failure. The fear of failure, guys, is one of the biggest things holding all of us back. I mean, it holds me back from time to time, and I have to recheck myself. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? What are you afraid of? Why are you afraid of failing? Fail fast so you can get up and go forward faster. The more I fail, the more I know what doesn't work, and the more I can correct that. If I never try it and I never fail, I'm never going to get the things out of life that I want to get. But for most of us, we won't do or say the things that we truly want. We will under-index our lives. We'll under-index the quality of our lives. The things that we really want, we'll never even tell anybody, because maybe they're too big for your circle of success to understand. Maybe they're too big for your friends to even be able to comprehend. You don't want to be made fun of. You don't want them to laugh at you. Let them laugh. Let them make fun of you. That just tells you you're in the wrong circle. I read something today about being inspired by those that you hang around with. Be inspired by your circle of success. If you're not inspired by, or the people that you hang around don't make you want to be a better version of yourself, you're hanging around the wrong people, guys. So let's go back to under-indexing. Most people under-index their lives. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I told this story on a training call last week. I'm going to give you the short version of it because it's a longer story. So this man decides he wants to go fishing. So he goes down to the fishing pier and he sees another gentleman down there. This gentleman seems to be catching a lot of fish. I mean, he's pulling fish after fish after fish in. But every time that the fisherman catches a fish, he watches him go over to the side of the pier where there's a ruler and he measures the fish. He throws some back and he keeps others, and he throws some back and he keeps others. Finally, after watching this go on for some time, the first man goes over and he says, hey, what are you doing? I see every time you catch a fish, you come over and you measure it. Why are you doing that? How do you make that? What are you deciding on? The fisherman who's catching all the fish says, well, at my house, I only have a 12-inch pot. So any fish that's bigger than 12 inches, I have to throw it back. So let's pause right there. Think about that. So instead of getting a bigger vessel, instead of expanding his vessel, getting a bigger frying pan, the fisherman chooses to keep the same frying pan and not be able to accommodate the amount of fish that he's catching. Imagine if he got a bigger frying pan and he kept all the fish, and then he could feed the village. He could feed his neighbors. He could feed his neighbors' neighbors. He's not thinking with an expansive enough mind. He's under-indexing his abilities and under-indexing his life based on the size of his vessel. See, the universe wants to bring you all the things. It wants to give you everything, but it can only give you what you are capable of handling. It can only give you what you are capable of adapting to. And most of us have closed off our vessels to such a small degree that we're only getting a finite amount of what we have truly available to us. And we do this in goals. We set goals so small that we usually don't even hit those small goals because they're not even exciting enough. Let's go back to the New Year's resolution thing. I think the number is 8%. Only about 8% of New Year's resolutions come true. And that's because most people set these little BS goals that aren't even exciting enough. Even if you did hit it, would you really be excited about it? Probably not. And this is called under-indexing. You're under-indexing your level of success. The universe wants to bring you an infinite amount of abundance, but you've got to be capable of receiving that abundance. Let's talk about that New Year's resolution thing. The reason they don't work, guys, and the reason we keep failing over and over and over again at these small micro goals that we set up for ourselves is broken promises. Broken promises are the kryptonite to your goals and dreams. Because eventually when you break enough promises to yourself, the goals and dreams that you have set won't even have the magnitude. They won't have the glow. They won't have the draw that they once did, because you've broken those promises to yourself so many times. It makes it easier to break promise after promise after promise. And eventually you don't believe in yourself anymore. And a lack of self-belief is one of the number one reasons why we set these BS little goals and why we usually don't even get those goals. So here's the deal. Before I move into that, let me also talk about another reason for goal setting and the problematic nature of it. Social media has created this highlight reel, if you will, of unrealistic comparisons. So what we do is we go on social media, we go on Facebook, we go on Instagram, and we immediately start comparing our lives to the lives of those that we see on social media. Even though we know it is their highlight reel. We know it's their glamour shot. We know it's the perfect filter. We know it's the perfect scenario. We know it's take 37. Like, we know it's not authentic. But still in our brains, we make that our reality. Even though it's a false reality, we convince ourselves that they're living a much better life than we are. They're living a life that we could not possibly have. So what I'll say to you this is, run your own race. Stay in your own lane. Don't get out of your lane when you're thinking about your goals. Your goals have nothing to do with anybody else's highlight reel. It doesn't matter who they are, how old they are, how young they are, how successful they are, how unsuccessful they are. It does not matter. What matters is your lane, your race. You run it, and you ask for the things that you want to get out of life. And then what you have to do, guys, here's what you have to do. Here's the number one thing that holds people back from achieving their goals. They set a goal, and then they are realistic with their actions and behaviors that get them towards winning that goal. And what I mean by realistic is they set a goal that is lofty. They set a goal that they're going to have to work hard to get to, but yet they don't already work hard. They're going to keep the same level of effort to get a goal that is outside of the capacity of what they currently have enough effort to achieve. Does that make sense? Because what got you here won't get you there. Your level of effort today won't get you to a higher level of what you want to be. You're going to have to evolve into a different person. And what I mean by that is time is coming. Time is going to pass regardless. 1 year is going to pass. 2 years are going to pass. 5 years are going to pass. The only question is, who will you show up at that 1 year reunion, that 2 year reunion, that 5 years down the line? What version of you is going to show up there? Will it be the same version of you that's here today? If it is, I promise you that won't be good enough to achieve the goals, the big goals, the scary goals, not the micro goals, not the BS goals that you're talking about, the big goals that you have set in your brain. Like, everybody wants to be rich, right? Everybody talks about wanting to make $1 million. And anybody who just said, no, I don't want to be rich, you're full of shit, right? That's a defense mechanism. You just don't want to talk about it. That's a different podcast. If you want to make $1 million, your goal better be to make $5 million, because that's just the way that it works. Because you are going to have to work your ass off to get to that $1 million. So if the goal is 5 million, you might hit the mill. You might get it. If your goal is to make $1 million, you'll make about 500, 750, but you won't ever hit the mill. The only way you're going to hit the million is if you over-index that goal. If you say, I'm going to make $3 million this year, you might hit that $1 million. And here's how you do that. You must take unrealistic action. Listen to what I just said. You must take unrealistic action in the direction of your goals. What is unrealistic action? Unrealistic action is more action than the average person can even understand. It's when you tell somebody about your goal and how you're going to achieve it First of all, you tell them about your goal. They're thinking, there's no way you can achieve that, right? I know who you are. You don't do this. You don't do that. You don't do this. You've got to get unrealistic in the way you approach your goal. You've got to become a different version of yourself to get to the goal. That's what a wow is. That's why I changed my word to, that's why I changed my must to wows this year. When I hit these goals that I have established for myself, they are going to be wows, and I'm going to have unrealistic action in the direction of those goals on a consistent daily basis if I want to achieve them. And the unrealistic action is more than the average person could ever begin to comprehend. My daily behavior is unrealistic to most people. I get up at 3:15 every morning. And I tell somebody that their first thought is this. They look at me like, what, are you crazy? What's wrong with you? Why would you ever do that? I could never do that. The laundry list of like, I can't, I won't, I shouldn't, I blah, blah, they just start flowing. And it's because that's unrealistic to most people, because they start to think about all the reasons why they can't do that. Well, I'll be so tired in the afternoon. Well, who gives a shit if you're tired in the afternoon, right? Stop letting yourself believe things that have zero constant, that is irrelevant. It doesn't matter if you're tired in the afternoon. If you need to get up at 3:15 in the morning as an unrealistic action to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, then you have to do it. You must do it. And if you're not willing to, then you don't deserve to get the goal. You don't deserve. I always tell people, you are living the life currently that you deserve to live based on the actions and your level of effort. Think about that. Your life currently is exactly what you deserve based on your level of effort and action. It's that simple. You will not get out of life more than you give, more than you put out. Everybody's waiting for the magic bullet. Everybody's looking for the thing. I mean, I'm in the fitness and nutrition world. Everybody wants the hack. Everybody wants to hack the system. Everybody wants to hack the system and making money. They're going to learn I'm going to learn how to trade stocks online. You can't even do math without a calculator. What? Who's going to, what? Don't do that. Do not do that, right? You want to hack the system because that's easier than going to work. See, nobody wants to go to work anymore. Nobody wants to be unrealistic with their actions. We will damn sure get unrealistic with our expectations. Like, we have unrealistic expectations of what life should be, but we don't have unrealistic expectations of how we should be. You see the disconnect there? You've got to get unrealistic with your actions in the direction of your goals if you really want to achieve big things in life. Now, this is a little different goal setting podcast. This isn't about, well, set a goal and then write it down and then go after it and be really, really positive. All that shit is necessary too. You got to do all those things. But this is the important stuff. This is the stuff that's holding you back from getting the things that you want to get out of life. This is the stuff that's keeping you from living the life you truly deserve and desire. I hear people say all the time, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. But yet their behavior does not coincide with that want. Their action does not coincide with that want. Again, I'm in the health and fitness space. I own a gym. I have an online transformation program. I write books on weight loss. Here's why people don't get what they want to get in the weight loss world. Their actions are not adequate to get their goals. They're not willing to get unrealistic with their actions. People will say to me, well, I want to lose 50 pounds. I'm like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. I can't get up that early. Then you can't lose 50 pounds. That's just the bottom line. It doesn't get any simpler than that. It doesn't get any harder than that. If you're not willing to be unrealistic with your actions, then you're damn sure don't deserve to get that unrealistic goal. Because 50 pounds is unrealistic for someone who's not willing to change. Agreed? That's just it, guys. It's that simple. Let's don't make things harder than they have to be. Let's stop the search for the magic bullet. Let's stop the search for the hack. Let's stop the search for all that. What it requires, what your life is going to require, is more effort than you are currently producing. And I'm not talking about grinding. I'm not talking about all that, those buzzy words you see from Gary Vee and all that stuff like that. I'm not talking about any of that shit. What you are doing now is not going to produce any more than it's producing now. So if what you have now currently, with your body, with your money, with your relationships, with whatever it is, if what you have currently is unsatisfactory to you, and you think that is going to change with the same level of effort, that you are currently giving, you are a crazy person. Okay? That may be hard to hear, but it's real. It's necessary to hear. What you've got to do is you have to shift that energy and effort to a higher level than what you're producing now, and you will get better, that you will get things that you want. You can't get the things you desire if you're not willing to make the changes. So my key takeaway from this whole episode is this. If you want the things in life that you say you want, if you want the things that you deserve and desire out of life, you are going to for sure 100% have to become unrealistic with your actions in the direction of those goals. It doesn't get any simpler than that. It doesn't get any more complex than that. It is truly that simple. Okay? Guys, I hope this episode hits home for you. I hope it resonated with you. Even if it didn't, listen again, I promise you this is the way. This is the simplicity of getting the things out of life that you want to get. It's that simple. Life's not hard. We humans, we muddy it up. We make it difficult. We make it challenging. We make it hard. We create a lot of stuff in our lives that is unnecessary. But if you'll get realistic with yourself about your current level of effort, and then get unrealistic with your level of action and effort, you'll get the things out of life you want. You'll get exactly everything you deserve out of life based on your effort and attitude and energy that you put toward it. Guys, do me a favor. If you haven't joined the Wellness Lab Launchpad, my free Facebook group, get your butt over there right now. You're going to get more of this. You need more of this. We all need more of this. I need more of this. Get your butt over there now. Ask to sign up for the group. I'll let you in immediately. Wellness Lab Launchpad on Facebook. It's a free group. No strings attached. No nothing. Get over there. Start ingesting information. Start ingesting more knowledge, and then start utilizing that information and knowledge. Okay? I will help you get unrealistic with your life. That's what I want for you. I want you to live an unrealistic life because that's going to give you everything you desire. Get over there. I'll help you do it. Secondly, if you love this episode, if you haven't given me a rating on iTunes, first of all, what? Why? Right? Get over there. Give me a rating on iTunes. 5 stars, of course. Unless you don't love it. If you don't love it, rate it how you want to rate it. 5-star rating. Write me a little review. Let me know what you love about it because I want to give you more of it. And then lastly, tell a friend. Tell a family member. Share it on your social media. Do something cool for JJ. Right? I'd appreciate that. I want to help more people, guys. I want more people to get disrupted. I want more people to get inspired. And I want more people to get the tools and the knowledge they need to transform into the best version of themselves. Everyone deserves to live the life they desire if they're willing to do the work necessary to get there. I'm here as a catalyst to help you do that. All right, guys, have a beautiful rest of your day. Be awesome to each other, and we will wrap again soon. All right, love you. Bye.